Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we'll be talking about the film Hocus Pocus 2. Fun fact, while the film is set in Salem, it is actually filmed in Rhode Island, unlike the first film, which was actually filmed in Salem. This movie came out in 2022 and stars Bette Midler, Kathy Najimy, and Sarah Jessica Parker, and was directed by Fletcher. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Hocus Pocus 2 sees the return of the Sanderson sisters, who are back this time, but instead of just trying to become immortal, they want to be all-powerful so that no one can challenge them again. It is up to Becca and her friends to find a way to fight back and to stop these witches again. Hocus Pocus 2 is a magical comedy. It has similar vibes to Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town, or The Witches. When this movie was announced, I was honestly wondering if they had a basis for a sequel or if it really was just a cash grab. The movie has some good things about it, but also missed the mark on some things for me. It was great to see the return of the Sanderson sisters in this movie. Seeing Winifred, Sarah, and Mary was lovely because these actresses slid back into these roles with ease. In the scenes in which they interact with each other, they all prove that they still have that magic that worked so well in the original that really made you feel like they were actually sisters. It was sad that Winifred's sisters were the price to pay as she is in her quest for power. However, the one thing I enjoyed about the original is that they were evil and there was no feeling bad for them. Like, these are witches that suck the life out of kids, and while we've come to love these characters because we love these movies, at the end of the day they are still evil witches, so I would have loved to see their despise be a happy one, not one that was sad. Hannah Waddingham had a small role in this film as Mother Witch, and honestly I feel like that role should have been bigger. Hannah is an amazing actress as well as a great singer, and it would have been great to have someone like her have a bigger role in this film. She was great in the scene that she was in, but it really left me wanting more. They introduced us to some new teens, and I felt like the way that they were written had them be too similar to each other, and the characters quickly got overshadowed. It was a cool idea to have one of them be a witch, and at the end of the film they had their own little coven, but I would have loved to have each of the three bring something to the table and show how they were different and how they were reunited to stop these witches when no one else knew what was going on. Also, the one jock that was dating one of the girls seemed like a weird addition, and I felt like I couldn't tell if I was supposed to like him or hate him in this film. I would have loved to see the original leads from the first film make a cameo in this film. When they needed the blood of an enemy, I was thinking about how cool it would be for that to have been from someone in the original movie who helped defeat them, considering they would probably still be alive compared to the ancestor of some old foe who was long dead. With a movie like Hocus Pocus that brings back so much nostalgia when people watch it, you would think that when they were talking about a sequel, they would want to bring back some of the leads, even if it was just in a cameo role, since they are so special to the original film and its everlasting success. It was great that this movie was more diverse. We get more people of color and even throw in some drag queens dressed as the Sandersons, which was funny to see them interact together. It's great to see people with different backgrounds in these films. It was great that we got to see a music scene in this film. One of my favorite parts from the original is when they sing I Put a Spell on You, and in this movie they sing one way or another, and while it's not as iconic, it's still a great scene. I love that they let the actresses use their marvelous singing chops and incorporates this into their characters. Also, Disney, if you're watching, we're still waiting for a studio version of I Put a Spell on You. The people watching the scene from Hocus Pocus with the devil was paying homage to Gary and Penny Marshall, but it seemed like it was a continuity error. In the film, they make statements that seem like it's a direct sequel to the original, but that scene makes you question if it is or not, because that's a scene that we watched in the original movie that they were a part of, but in this movie, it is as if they weren't a part of it, which is confusing. I think my favorite part of this film is seeing Mary riding on the rhombus. In the original film, it was funny because Winnie was on a broom and Sarah was on a mop, and Mary couldn't find anything, so she ended up on a vacuum. And I'm glad that this film showed her on a vacuum again, but this time it was just a more modernized version of a vacuum. Kathy Najimy always makes me laugh when she's writing them, trying not to fall when she's just trying to keep up with her sisters. Hocus Pocus 2 was a decent sequel to the classic Hocus Pocus. This movie had some funny moments and the cast was good, but I think the story was lacking a bit. There is an end-credit scene in which we see another black flame candle, and I'm wondering if this means that there will be another sequel. If you haven't watched Hocus Pocus 2, then I suggest you give it a try. Thank you for watching my video. I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. If you have not subscribed, please do so you can keep up to date with more of my videos. But besides that, everyone stay safe, have fun, and goodbye.